Hi everybody. Today we're talking about the difference between emergency use authorization, EUA, and full FDA approval. Risk is really a key part of all this. I've talked about this before. It's really a valuable concept to learn and use in your own life. So in science, in medicine, in all military, public health, all complex decision-making, problem-solving, there's an element of risk management. Look at this chart. All right, I call this a conceptual chart. So these are not hard numbers in here. There's not data behind it. It's just a visual representation of a concept. Part of EUA allows the government to authorize the drug or treatment before it finishes the entire clinical trial process. So that's why the horizontal axis, I have a start and I have a finish. It's not a fixed time frame. It's not numbers exactly. It's just showing in concept and risk low to high. So when you initially start, the risk is high. And over some period of time, again, this is just a concept, as you proceed along the clinical trials, your risk goes down. Now, maybe this comes down steeper in the beginning and trails off longer at the end. In fact, I think it does. Let me do a little better job of that. So I think it probably looks something more like this. Okay, so normally approved. Okay, so at this point might be a normal approval. For EUA, weighing the harms and the known risks of not having the vaccine against the potential harms of releasing it early, we weigh those two and say, well, if we do nothing, we're causing a lot of harm. If we release this now, what are the chances that it's unsafe? So maybe in the same people who do the approval, the same committees and expertises, they might go here and say, this is good. We at this point, based on the particulars of the data, based on everything that we're seeing, we're going to authorize this drug to be sold and injected into people. Maybe it's back here. Where they draw the line is going to depend on the particulars of what's being observed in the clinical trials. So if they see really nothing going back harmful, that they have a high level of confidence that this thing's going to finish out, then the risk of releasing it becomes lower. And it also depends on the assessed risk of, in this case, the virus that we're talking about. So somewhere along this timeline, they'll peel off and say, okay, we authorized this now to be used and distributed to the public. That's emergency use authorization. Okay, it is risk management. Let's go to the FDA's own website. You can find a page that is emergency use authorizations for vaccines explained. Do a word find on the word risk. Drop down to the second one. What safety and effectiveness data are required to be submitted for an EUA request, blah, blah, blah. First, there has to be adequate manufacturing to ensure quality and consistency, so they want to see the manufacturing plan. But look at this. FDA must determine that the known potential benefits outweigh the known and potential risks of the vaccine. The level of benefit is directly proportional to the seriousness of the virus. What is the process that manufacturers are following? They provide documentation, manufacturing, clinical testing, all that data. So there's a documentation review, information needed by the FDA for the agency to determine whether the known potential benefits outweigh the known and potential risk of the vaccine. Benefit versus risk. Benefit versus risk. What are the plans for continued monitoring of the vaccine? They want the manufacturers to have an active follow-up for side effects of the drug. Inform the ongoing benefit risk determinations to support continuation of the EUA. So if something happens to where the benefit risk calculation changes, maybe they find serious side effects, they will revoke the EUA. How will vaccine recipients be informed about the benefits and risks of any vaccine? They claim that they will inform you of the known and potential benefits and risks, and to the extent to which such benefits and risks are unknown. Have they done that? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, all we hear is it's totally safe, it's great. So that's it. It's benefit risk management decision. The reason I say this concept is really important because the media, the news, they use emotion. They use these sensationalized, scary stories because emotion, fear is the most powerful among them, is what causes people to get interested, to read the story, to share the story, to get involved. You could argue that a lot of that is for the public good in this case because they want to motivate people to do the right thing. But make no mistake about it, they're using emotion, not logic, emotion. If you always try to make a decision that has the least amount of fear or no fear associated whatsoever, then you're paralyzed. You'll miss out on a lot of the good things in life. That's the difference between EUA and full approval. I'm thinking about another video that will delve into this in more detail. There's a lot more I could say about approvals and EUA, things like that. If that's something that interests you, let me know, and subscribe to my channel, put on notifications. If I do that video, then you'll get notifications for it. Okay, thanks a lot. Talk to you again soon.